Welcome, welcome to another episode of Glorious Life on Wheels. I am usually upbeat, chipper, really happy when I bring you these segments, but today I am just infuriated. I am so upset at the, I think, just out and out overall assault and attack on nomads living in urban settings. And I'm in the city of Oceanside, California. I'm going to bring you a story today that I think is going to highlight what is happening with nomads who live in urban settings. I think what has happened here in Oceanside is disgraceful. But I have to say, Oceanside, California is not the only place that this is happening. The Oceanside City Council recently enacted an ordinance that makes it illegal to park on the streets from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. Here's a warning that they recently issued to someone. If you're in a vehicle, here's what it says. If you're in an oversized vehicle that is either 25 foot long, 84 inches wide, or 84 inches high. So that's under 9 foot. So basically what they are doing is criminalizing people who cannot afford the outrageous cost of housing and have chosen instead or found an alternative to live in an RV. Anyhow, you know what? I'm going to quit talking. I'm going to introduce you to some of the people who are being impacted by this new regulation, including senior women who are doing their best to just survive. I think at the end of this video, you're going to have not only a better understanding of the harassment that city nomads endure, but I think you're also going to be fired up. And to that end, I'm going to include the name of city council members and their phone numbers in the description on this video. But I also am going to include, I think, some information that is going to perhaps be a spark, I'm hoping a spark of encouragement based on a conversation I did have with a city council member. So stay tuned at the end. Meanwhile, I'm going to introduce you to some ladies that are being impacted by the harassment and also by this new ridiculous ruling. So come on and join me. Welcome, welcome, Katz and Debbie. You are here as nomads, and we're going to give a little bit of your history and a little bit of what's going on here in the city of Oceanside. So Katz, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, how old you are, what kind of vehicle you're living in?
Yeah, I'm 59 years old, and I'm disabled, and I have a truck and an RV trailer, a Nash. I'm a new widower. He died in August, and so I'm just in this as a single woman, trying to learn my new normal. And it's very tough out here.
All right, and Deb, welcome Deb. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? How old are you?
Hi, my name is Debbie. I'm 62 years old. I live in a 2013 Ford Transit. My story is that I came to help out a family member and it didn't work out. So I ended up into my car at first, and then I ended up getting a van.
All right, now what is going on with the city of Oceanside? I understand, and you were the one that shared it with me first, Katz, that the city of Oceanside enacted an ordinance that stated that it's illegal to park from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. on the streets, effectively basically making you criminals for living in your RVs.
Correct, and there's no signage. I'm in the same spot I've always been. They started this on the 6th, gave us one courtesy notice, and started ticketing everybody.
So you're getting tickets, and how much are those tickets?
$58.
And that sounds like that's pretty expensive. So if you get tickets every day, now I know about a case where there's a woman, her name happens to be Kat too, and she had several tickets which she couldn't pay because she's living on Social Security, and her RV ended up getting towed. So is that a situation you're likely to get into if they continue ticketing you?
Oh yes, I can't keep paying these tickets over and over, and I never got a parking ticket or a speeding ticket in my life until this time. This is new to me, you know, and I don't know where to go. I don't know where to park from 2 to 6 a.m. And I have one little spot, but I got to leave here at 11 o'clock and drive sleepily and go to the park place I can park overnight and then leave by there by 6 a.m.
And you're just, that's right now, it's like you're running from spot to spot,
Right.
but you don't even know how long you're going to be able to park there because that's really a very tentative spot right now.
Correct. And with my back injury, it puts a lot of stress on me. I'm always in a lot of pain. That's why I'm disabled. And it's really stressful. You know, I've been in and out of the hospital for the last month with other issues. I'm diabetic, and I have high blood pressure, and the stress on me is immense.
So, Debbie, you're in a small, tiny Ford Connect. So you're actually not having to move right now because you're under the guidelines for the height and the width and all of that. However, you still have been harassed by city officials coming out. They came out at what time in the morning to knock on your van?
They came out one time at 5, and the last time was at 3 a.m. in the morning. And
So-
the other first time was 5 a.m. in the morning.
So at 3 a.m. in the morning, they're knocking on your van. What were you thinking when someone was knocking on your van?
When somebody was knocking on my van, and I heard, well, they wasn't knocking. I heard somebody messing with my tag, and then I seen a flashlight, and it scared me, and I just woke up in a daze. And I was just looking around. I thought it was the police, and I just, not thinking, just opened my door and say, "Hello, can I help you?" And so they said that they was making sure that I belong here, that my car wasn't abandoned, my van, but my van had been parked here for maybe 3 or 4 months. They ride here every day sometimes, so they know my van here, so they check my tag. Well, they asked me to show ownership of the van, which I did.
At 3 o'clock in the morning, they're asking you for ownership of the van.
Yes, and it had a drive-out tag, dealer drive-out tag, and then they have everything on the front window, my name, and everything on the front window, which they could have ran it. But I'm looking, it's not the police. It was somebody in some khaki pants and a white shirt and driving a white truck. I couldn't see was a sign on there or not, so I really don't know who the person was.
So at 3 o'clock in the morning, so city officials don't have people that work at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm wondering, or even 10 o'clock in the morning to come by doing checks. And when you got a citation for having an unattended vehicle, what time, can you show us this citation?
This is the $58 one, and it was at 5:12 in the morning.
And it was for what?
Unattended vehicle, and we were sleeping in it with dogs. So the dogs
Alarm.
do bark, you know, when someone comes by.
So they apparently didn't try and wake you up, they just get an unattended vehicle. So if a vehicle is unattended at 5 a.m., then it's probably going to be unattended at 10 a.m.
Right.
But they chose to come by at 5 a.m.
And I got this one the other day, the day after my birthday, and that was at 6:17 in the morning. And I was in there too.
So what it sounds like to me is they are just trying to harass you to the point that you will move out of the city of Oceanside.
Well, here's the thing. If this new law comes at you have till 6 o'clock in the morning, why am I getting one at 6:17? I'm free and clear.
That's a good question.
You know?
And as you said, and we'll pan around a little later, there's no signs anywhere here saying no parking.
And this one was on Bennett Street and down in the valley, and there's no signs. I made sure.
So, you know, this is just so. Let me get a little bit of history, and I'm going to be doing a tour of both of your ladies' rigs at another time. But let me just get so you're not here vacationing and just here out and about just to be here. You're living in your vehicle because you can't afford other accommodations.
I cannot.
Cannot.
No, when Danny died on August 25th, because we were together 40 years and not married, there's no common law in California, so I couldn't even get his body, I couldn't get his checking accounts, I couldn't get into the businesses, nothing. I couldn't get his Social Security, so I just live on my money that I make, which is not a lot to run this van and truck and trailer system. I've had a lot of disasters hit me, and now they're destroying my tires. With this red one, they destroyed and marked my tires, and I have expensive tires on my truck. You know, and with my back injury, I'm going to have to sit there and bend over and scrub it. Hopefully to get some of it off, but it doesn't come off completely.
Now, Debbie, you were sharing with me earlier in a conversation that we had that you were divorced and you came out here. You're solo female.
Yes.
You don't have a partner who's helping with the expenses, and you came out here in the situation. You came out to help with a family member. Didn't work out, so you ended up buying a little Ford Connect so you would have a roof over your head.
Yes.
So you're being constantly woken up at 3 in the morning or 5 in the morning. Do you think that this is designed to try and get you to leave?
I really do think it's designed to get us to leave because, for one thing, we're very quiet over here. We keep the area clean. And to me, they ought to be glad we're here because we like security. I have security camera in my van, so it takes pictures, motions of all the complex here. So, but
And didn't you all call the police on a situation that was happening to notify them of a problem going on?
Yes, we did. And the police come here a lot, and we speak to them. They talk to us about missing people, you know, and ask questions. And but I'm here. It's not so bad, but I feel bad. And then when you're looking for an apartment, you have to make double the rent, double the pay of the rent, and I'm living on Social Security too. And you have to make double the rent, a third of the rent, and I can't afford that.
With the city of Oceanside making it illegal to park on the streets with your trailer, what are you going to do? Where are you going to go? What options do you have,
I
Katz?
don't have any options because I've contacted Homeless Outreach, had meetings inside my RV, and I have been told I'm sheltered. I don't do drugs. I don't drink. I have tags. I'm clean. There's nothing they can do for me.
Okay, so explain to me, what do you mean you're sheltered?
I have a roof over my head. So they say, keep doing what you're doing.
So because you have a roof over your head, you don't qualify for homeless services. Because you don't have an alcohol or drug problem, you don't qualify for help from those types of agencies. So you're just falling between a crack and you're just out here.
Right. And I called, when I first became a widower, I called everyone because I was shell-shocked. And I've been told there's nothing, no services can do for me. Called 211, over and over again trying to get help, and there's nothing.
So for you, Debbie, with you being continually woken up in the middle of the night, and I must say, do not open your door. I know you were caught off guard and it was scary, but that in itself. So what if they keep harassing you? What are you going to do?
I really don't know. I guess the only option I had to do is just move, go somewhere else, and until somebody come and harass me and make me move. We just got to keep moving and moving and moving until one day somebody can wake up and say, hey, we're gonna have a safe place for our RVs, vans, the people. We can't afford it. It's just the rent. It's just too high. It's just too high out here, and it depresses you. Now, I've never been on a heart monitor. I'm on a heart monitor now. I just went to the doctor the other day, so they put me on a heart monitor. So much stress, and my heart just be palpitating so bad. So now they had to monitor my heart right now. And sometimes you can't even imagine. Sometimes I can't even talk about it sometimes. Like now, and the thing about it, it's not me. I'm more concerned about other people than myself.
Yeah,
because at least I was blessed to be able to get a van. But the moms and the kids and the elderly people, they're just out here. You have to be out here to see it.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes people take advantage of the homeless people.
You know, I know that there's another woman who I interviewed, another lady named Kat, and she was ticketed so often, and she's living on Social Security, was not able to pay the tickets. They ended up towing her vehicle. She ended up sleeping on the street one night until other homeless people and other nomads cobbled together enough money to get back her vehicle. I was able to call because they weren't even letting her get into a van to get her medication.
Right. And that's one thing I see out here is the kindness of people.
Yes.
People who have nothing will do anything that they can to help
you.
you. I've seen cars tow RVs, you know, just because they have to move with the 72-hour rule. I have seen so much kindness. I saw a guy on Thanksgiving, and they're making him a Thanksgiving dinner, and he's got no legs.
There seems to be so much more kindness and humanity among people who have nothing than the city council members of Oceanside, California.
Yeah, they don't care. I've even talked to the homeless outreach in Carlsbad, and it's the same thing. There's nothing you can do.
Well, you know what? I think there may be something that can be done, and I'm going to talk about it briefly at the end of this video. But there was another person who was supposed to be here as part of this panel today, and her name is Kat. Unfortunately, she's now being harassed about her dog in her RV because I don't know what, so she wasn't able to come here. But this individual, Kat, has had a horrible time. She had, as I said earlier, she had her RV towed because she had excessive tickets that she couldn't pay because she's living on Social Security. Shortly after that, I believe directly because of that, she had a heart attack and didn't she have double bypass surgery?
Yes.
And now she's getting notices and tickets and notices to move, and she has nowhere to go, and she's now being criminal.
She can't even heal. I mean, she needs to just have time to heal. She was in the hospital a couple weeks later, and she can't rest.
I just wanted to bring to you what is happening here. But again, this is not unique to Oceanside, California. There is an assault on urban nomads across this country. I did talk to one of the members of the city council who enacted this ordinance or whatever, ruling, whatever it's called, outlawing and criminalizing people from parking on streets from 2 to 6 a.m. And this council member's name was KORI Jensen. And she was appointed, she's the newest member of the Oceanside City Council. She was appointed amidst some controversy, I might add, that several groups were saying they didn't feel that she had enough knowledge of individuals who were living in poverty and so on and so forth. I have to say that she did seem to express some compassion. I'm hoping that that was sincere compassion. And she did say, because I asked her, why can't you put together at the very least a safe parking spot for these seniors who are living on the streets, don't have an option. You know the cost of living here is just outrageous. Why can't you put together at the very least a safe parking spot on some land or property that the city owns, and also undo this crazy ruling and perhaps issue permits for people who can park on this street, maybe in an area that's designated for such. But anyhow, I'm going to keep you posted on what's going on and whether Miss Jensen does come back. She said she was going to check into safe parking. So I'm hoping that she does follow through, and maybe she can prevail upon her other council members to have a heart for people who are having hard times living in vehicles, not by choice, but because they don't have the financial means to pay $3,000 a month for rent. So I'll keep you posted. Again, in my description, I'm going to put the name of the council members and their phone numbers if you want to maybe give them a call and let them know how you think about it. If you've experienced this kind of thing, would you make a comment, add a comment down below? And I thank you again. I have the best Globies and viewers in the world. so compassionate, and I thank you. And don't forget, hit a like button if you like this video, and also subscribe and come back and see, because I'm going to do a tour of the rigs these two ladies are living in. So we'll see you next time. Thanks so much for coming by. Bye.